Okay, welcome back. We're on page 59 now. It's talking about debugging. Now, if you recall, we threw in two things in here. A thing called log. And so log is this thing that every application can send messages to the log. Okay. Log I means information. You could do log E for error, and we're actually going to be doing that much later. But log I, and then there's two pieces to it, some sort of a tag. So the I is the severity guy. Remember this guy? If I go here, I means if I went to E for error, it's going to show me all the errors. Thankfully, we don't have any errors in our application. I don't have any warning. Well, yeah, I guess I do have warnings. But when it comes to info, then all I got was, well, I'm going to ignore the automatically generated ones. I'm going to go for this. In fact, if I wanted to do this better, instead of having the tag be info, let's have the tag be like the name of our application, or I don't know, something unique. Because if I go in here and say info, it's going to filter out all those things, right? So now I get to see only the tags that I created, not the ones that were created by the machine. So my running application, I want the info, and I particularly want the ones that have a tag called info. Cool. So that's how that part works. All right? Cool. And then, of course, the message, right? So this is a very useful thing for debugging. I mean, you could put D for debug if you wanted. Although I typically just use I. That's just me. I don't know why I don't use D for debug when I'm debugging, but I'm just telling you that's what I do. And so I'm writing my application and I want to go, well, what's the value of that variable? I would just throw a log guy in there, and then I go look to see, okay, yeah, that's exactly what I was expecting. Okay, let's go look at the toast thing. Okay, so toast is like popping up toast from your toaster. There's an awful lot of pieces to this, but let's just go through it. It's kind of complicated. First of all, toast, and then there's a dot, which, if you remember anything, these are going to be static classes. Both log and toast are static classes. Ooh, what does that mean? Do you remember that from the Java class? That means I don't have to create an instance of log to be able to use it, or create an instance of toast to be able to use it. Okay, so I have a thing called toast, and then make toast. And then the context, which is kind of sort of like, where did this thing come from? And I'm going to use the word this, which is a synonym for the currently running application. And then, what the message is you want, like bottom button was clicked. And then how long you want it to be out there for a short period. There's only two choices. It's link short and link long. You don't actually get to say, like 5 seconds or 10 seconds. It's just short or long. And then dot show. Now this is a little complex. It's called chaining, where I'm actually making something, and then I close the parentheses and do dot, and then another one. So this is the show method of that. Okay, again, let's don't get into the weeds here, because we're going to get to the Java stuff later. So I just wanted to explain what all those pieces are. The make text is a method that generates a toast. The dot show shows it, and then the parameters that I'm passing is the context, which is the current thing, the message, and then how long you want the thing to be. Okay, so on page 59, they start talking about adding the methods, right? So we did that already. We added the top click and the bottom click guy. Cool. And again, if you when you first copied these guys, they were in red. You remember that? And you could hover over them. Well, hovering over them also gives me tons and tons of interesting development kind of things, which is kind of cool. Okay. So the whole idea is things in the logcatter help you during development, and toast messages are for the messages that you really, really, really want the user to see, but just for a short period of time. That kind of makes sense? Cool. Okay, so I believe we are actually at the end of this chapter, so please take a minute and go and try this yourself, because again, watching me demo this stuff is not really the way to learn. Typically, you're going to have to touch the keys. You're actually going to have to do this yourself in order to be able to get a good grasp of what we're doing. Okay, that's it for this time. I'll see you guys again in the next video.